At your newspapers and what's making headlines. All right, and we're going to take a look at the Mail and Guardian, and their front page this morning is about Moyane versus Gordhan. The fight starts now, and battle tax boss digs up dirt on Pravin Gordhan. Very interesting story detailed there on page 3 of today's Mail and Guardian, and centers around a head, and this is of course a former employee of SARS, and now he is at SAA. And the Mail and Guardian some weeks back highlighted the story about consultants that were being brought into SAA, and Head was one of them, at a package of 5.2 million rand over 6 months. Wow. And so they detailing how he was brought into SARS and how his wife was brought along, and basically making allegations of impropriety against Pravin Gordhan, signing off against that. Wow. So they are saying now, Moyane's team, the fight begins now.
Wow. Okay, so that's the Mail and Guardian. You can read all the details in there. Let's move now on to the Sowetan. So the Sowetan's front page, daughter lives in fear of actor dad. That's of course the big story, and then the other one on the top, from waiter to restaurant owner, and focusing the first story of the restaurant to from waiter to owner. Mpo Masilo, working as a bartender and waiter for nearly a decade, has now launched Ravioli, the biggest fine dining space in Maboneng. Congratulations to him. Those are beautiful stories that you really, really want to hear. A story you don't want to hear, however, is the other story that they're following on the front page of the Sowetan. 11-year-old daughter of Skiem Sam actress Shoki Sebotsane is too traumatized to testify in front of her actor father, Selo. So that is the story. Daughter lives in fear of actor dad.
Absolutely. And moving on to the Citizen, a Lions third bite at glory. They have, of course, lost 2 successive finals, and hopefully it will be third time lucky for them. I don't know how they're going to cope if they don't win this. And then also DA Mayor in the firing line. Opposition parties join forces to kick out Athol Trollop, and I saw that story. And also trading in the dark chat rooms, Commission's case against rogue currency dealers heats up.
Goodness me. Okay, and that's the newspaper headlines for this morning. The business day, however, the last one we've got, looking at Mantashe lashing out at Impala job cuts. Now that is an awful story, I have to say. I mean, when you look at Impala Platinum, it was a story that came out yesterday basically saying that they announced plans to cut 13,000 people from its workforce. Close or sell 5 shafts, and cut output to save its Rustenburg mining area. So that's the big one. Mantashe, of course, not happy with that at all. This is a really good one as well. We haven't spoken about, on the business day. Apple. The company Apple has become the very first US-based company with a market value of $1 trillion. This is just 4 decades after the late Steve Jobs founded this company in his parents' garage. I mean, can you imagine $1 trillion? I mean, that is just insane. And then finally, the Star. War on pupil exclusion. Public schools in MEC's crosshairs. Tense times for for the public schools. But then, of course, that big photo on the front, tense times, that's what's happening in Zimbabwe. So those are the front pages of your newspapers here on Morning Live on this Friday morning.